right.
Some things are backwards on there.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You don't care if I tag you guys on the stories, right?
I don't go on it.
Yeah.
Kind of forgot about this. Oh, you.
No, it's all telling people to work out this weekend. I'm excited. If nothing else, just to do the cocktails.
Yeah, any opportunity I get to have
I can use some
live cocktails or
great.
oh yeah, wait till you fucking try this. This is I'm talking about the
Heaven.
podcast here. This is the greatest limoncello
Are we
I've ever
rolling?
had. Yeah, technically.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Technically,
Technically speaking.
So-
get after it.
this is
Cheers, fellas. Glad we finally got to do this. Thanks, everybody. Oh, man. There we go. It's just so good.
so that was house-made limoncello with espresso.
Yeah, just coat the interior.
So great.
All right, cool. We good? Rocking and rolling, man. Well, welcome everybody to a special edition of the Talkin' Tacos podcast. I am your host, Matt. With me, as always, is Dave and Billy. We
What's
are
up, guys?
at Asbury Park Distilling for our special edition podcast with Casey. What's your official title? I don't even know. I probably should have figured that out before I did the intro.
Booze captain.
There you go, Booze Captain.
Booze Captain
That's perfect.
at the Asbury Park Distillery.
That is absolutely perfect.
I'm gonna get it on my cards.
Before we forget, just thank you to Ming and A Shared Universe for coming out on location here at the distillery to podcast with us and bring us all the gear to make us sound and look amazing.
Wow.
So we are super fucking excited, and as you just saw, heard us chatting, we just started with the shot of limoncello, as is tradition. So let's talk about the limoncello because
Well, hold on. It's not tradition. Is we finished with limoncello.
That's also true.
So we're here on a
Well, it's a
Monday.
Monday tradition.
It's now a Monday tradition.
so now we have to start coming every Monday and Tuesday.
I'll come in around 6:30. We'll do a shot, and then I can go home.
I don't hum the cheers song and I walk out of here for no reason.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's fantastic. But no, for real though, I gotta tell you guys. So before you talk about how you make the limoncello, because I want to hear this story for the listeners. I've been to Italy several times. I spent a few months there for a semester in college. Yeah, whatever, weird flex, but okay. And I had limoncello, 25 different places, different times, and all of it was fantastic. None of it was better than this. And I'm not just saying that because I love this place and I love you guys. It's seriously the best fucking limoncello I've ever had.
I mean, I've had a ton of limoncello, obviously, but I worked at an Italian restaurant for 8 years with an off-the-boat Italian man who took pride in everything he did, obviously. But his limoncello, I mean, only the best lemons from our produce would be good. You know, the big ones with the brightest yellow and all. And it was great. I mean, it wasn't something, we didn't sell alcohol, so it was just something for in-house or whatever. But it was fantastic to always have. But again, it doesn't touch this. It's just this just explodes everything in your mouth.
It has an almost like syrup-like quality to it, which some people might think, ew, but no, that's the way it should be.
It's just usually served on like a block of ice, or as cold as it can possibly be. The fact that this doesn't even have to
dilute
be.
the flavor.
Yeah, you don't even have to. It's just so enjoyable.
Yeah. But of course, now the problem is it's ruined me for anything
else.
else. So if I go to Italy again, I'll bring a bottle of that with me. No, thank you. No, grazie. I got my own. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Good to get the seal of approval from people that have actually had like Italian limoncello.
Yeah.
Because as you can tell, I've got very little to zero Italian in me.
Same.
So tell us about how you make it, because you told us before, but for everyone listening, I want to hear the story because it's a very involved process, and I think it's fascinating.
Yeah. So we actually sous vide it, which is process of taking a bag, it's used most for like food and like cooking meats. You like vacuum seal it so you have a constant hot water bath around it. So we can't vacuum seal it because there's liquid in it, but it's just a Ziploc bag. That's how it started. But it's just a 2-gallon Ziploc bag put into a hot water bath with a sous vide and a constant temperature of around like 140. But so vodka, sugar, water, lemon peel, and coffee bean all go in that, and then it sits for like 9 hours, which is
awesome.
Another great thing because that's a lot less time than typical limoncello.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How long does typical limoncello take? I have no idea.
The whole process takes like weeks, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. You got to keep it in dark areas. You got
I
to
believe that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and like, cause you're actually just using the vodka to pull out the oils from the
It's
lemon.
slower.
Right.
It takes longer, and like a lot of people use Everclear or high proof alcohol to get it faster. That's also why a lot of limoncello tastes like firewater.
Yeah.
Because if you don't proof it down right, like you're just drinking 190 proof alcohol with
Bad
some
limoncello
lemon
is
taste.
painful.
Yeah.
Painful.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's meant to be like, traditionally it's like an, not an aperitif, what do they call it? Like, what's the after
Digestif.
dinner?
Digestif.
Yeah, digestif, thank you, the other version. But yeah, no, you're right. When you get it bad, it's like nothing worse. You have a nice full stomach and then you just drink fire. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck am I doing? This is a terrible idea.
That's why I don't even try grappa anymore.
Oh, dude. Dude, my father
Grappa.
my father tricked me with grappa the first time I was like 18, just like learning how to drink with him or whatever, and he was like,
Shake these.
shake them up. He was like, yo, let me like try this after dinner drink, and I was like, he goes, what is it, grappa? I go, whatever, I don't know what it is. I almost died. I wasn't prepared. He didn't prepare me. It's just burning, just
Burns
straight
over your
fucking
eyes,
way
your
down,
ears,
yeah.
your nose.
And now you guys peel all the lemons yourself, right?
Oh yeah.
You can
was,
give yourself carpal tunnel.
I have some new calluses forming on my hand, which like I tried a lot of different ways to do it without having to do that, but it really makes a huge difference having it be fresh. Like we did a batch of about 200 bottles last Saturday, and it was from like 10:30 I was peeling them, and then we put them in the bath around 2 o'clock.
How many lemons did you peel?
500.
Jesus.
Wow.
It is definitely a process, but it does make a huge difference.
So,
Yeah, we were talking about that before. It's like,
Were you listening to a podcast or were you?
I was watching Always Sunny.
There you go. Like that.
A little chip on my shoulder while I was doing it.
But see, that's the best part. We were talking about this before. It's like, aside from the fact that Casey is a genius in terms of crafting these cocktails, that's only part of it. The fact that you guys make all of the additional ingredients that go in, whether it's like the bitters or whatever else, you guys make all of that here, right?
Yeah, and that's not by choice. At least
Yeah.
it wasn't at first. But because of the
Distillery
tasting
laws.
room laws, yeah, we don't have a traditional liquor license. So we have to only use products that we make in-house. We can only sell things that are made in the back.
I think it ended up working out better for you.
It benefits
Which-
us anyway.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which a lot of it came from, like, our license is a little bit different than a bar, and this is, a lot of the state thought it was like a loophole for us to sell alcohol,
Right.
which it's not. It's like a liquor license and a distillery license give you the opportunity to do completely different things.
Yeah.
Like, it still costs a lot of money to open up a distillery, just because liquor licenses cost like 1.2 million,
Yeah.
and the license for us is a little cheaper. Doesn't mean we're like trying to find a loophole.
Right.
But through that, there's so many, like, once you find the space that you're playing in, there's no rules.
Yeah.
There are a lot of rules outside of it, but like, we have no problem just like putting whatever into a bottle of vodka and seeing what happens. Like trying to reverse engineer things, and
It forces you to be creative.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
you have a palette and a number of colors. So
Pretty much, yeah. But it, like, definitely, it helped me like have more of a understanding of classic liqueurs, and because I wanted to use things, so
Yeah.
I just had to figure out what they taste like, what it was that actually made them taste the way they did, and then just kind of work backwards from there.
It's like what I do with cooking. It's like I'll taste this and be like, yeah, I could do this with that and that.
add a little more, a little less.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that like a lot of what we do actually comes from more of a cooking style. Like I usually base it on foods when we're building a menu
Awesome.
than drinks. So like once you're there, you just kind of pull out flavors from like any meal and just figure out what makes it work and also what's not going to make it work. Like still haven't
Yeah.
really figured out how to use garlic in something, but I'm not going to stop trying.
Try roasting it.
Yeah, so let's.
It's more of like if the customer, like I would drink it, but how much do the customers trust us when I put like a garlic martini in front of them?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yo, listen, man. At this point, I
It's
think
right
we've
there,
had
yeah.
I think we've had enough weeks where we let you take the wheel, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm willing to. You could tell me you'd put
Yeah, there
red
was-
pepper or
there
whatever,
was the one
man.
week you had PTSD from the previous day, and you wanted to make sure you didn't get slammed, so you already had our drinks ready for us when we
They
walked
were
in.
sitting in the tin for like probably like 2 hours. Yeah. I was like, I'm not gonna move my arms.
Dude, it's
for
like
a
fucking
while.
cheers when you walk in. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it.
So it was like whatever's in there, that's what we're drinking.
Yep.
So what? So speaking of the drinks here, I'm just curious, how how do you come up with some of these drinks, man? Because some of the ingredients that go into these things, we'll talk about the ones that you're making for us. But like, I mean, I see some of the ingredients on these lists, and I'm like, I would never in a million years think to put this into a drink.
Thank you.
A lot of it's just like, I mean, it really does come from looking at it. I can't look at like cocktail books because there's only so many things we have, and like unless it's just a gin cocktail book and there's nothing else in it, and it's not just a martini page. Like it gets frustrating to look at those because like I don't have access to 45-year-old sherry or vermouth, and I haven't really figured out how to master that yet. But yeah, it's just flavors. We think of flavors and we have like a list of things we want to incorporate into a certain menu, and then just kind of work our way backwards. And like whether we have like weird Asian flavors or just regular herbs, it's like how can we use this in a different way? How can we pull out the most of this thing? And we've developed a lot of new techniques like over the past year and a half, especially like the sous vide method was huge.
Yeah.
And just different ways to interact with ingredients to get flavors into liquid form.
Well, it's working, man.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Try.
Cheers.
Once again.
Once again.
Take
Oh,
it.
man.
Oh, fumble.
I'm drinking.
All right, so who wants to go first with the drinks?
I think you should.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
So, this is the John Bouchon, and Casey, there's a pretty interesting story behind the naming of this, I believe, right?
Uh-huh.
So remind me again what's in it, first of all?
It's rooibos, which is South African red tea. It's actually fermented black tea. Bourbon, lemon juice, simple syrup, and a little bit of barrel finished gin. It's an Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
But it's so refreshing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And like boozy tea is my favorite thing. So.
I know, this is one of those drinks I feel like I should be drinking it in the summer, but it's just too fucking good.
But it gives you like the thought of summer, even on a
Yeah.
cold, snowy, like rainy,
know, right?
crappy winter February day.
And that was one that was just like thrown at the wall. It was like 2 days before we were supposed to release the menu, and I was just walking through Wegmans and saw rooibos, which I'd never had before.
Yeah.
And I originally had apricots in it, but they're not really in season right now. But I was just like, let's see what those two taste like together. And we just put it in the bourbon and then built a simple sour around it.
It's amazing. And isn't the name John Bouchon is translated from something,
More
right?
effort was put into the name and the story behind the name than the
great
actual
story.
making of the drink. Yeah, so that one, because when I tasted it, it reminded me of the yellow cap iced teas that the like old school Wawas used to have, not the super ones.
Yeah.
Which was just iced tea and lemonade. So I just went through Google Translate and tried to find the best translation of yellow cap, which is John Bouchon and I think like Haitian Creole. So then we just decided to create a story, like the most interesting man in the world is John Bouchon. And like everybody that came in had a different story about how they met him. I told him he was like a deaf sound engineer that I met in Boston. I was like, he's who the movie Ray is based on. Which surprisingly doesn't get questioned enough.
Yeah, right. You tell people a story
yeah.
like that, and they're, oh yeah, of course, yeah. I like the first time I saw it on the menu, I was like racking my brain because I thought it was some sort of like pop culture reference, and I'm like Googling John Bouchon. I'm like, this has to I know all about this shit. Like I have to know what this is referencing,
Yeah, and, like, you
and I couldn't
really
find
there's,
anything.
Like some like French Canadian banker that has a LinkedIn with his name Jonathan Bouchon, but you can't find him.
And that's another thing is the names are almost as
It's
amazing as the drinks here. You know,
A lot of times we go from name to drink just because, like, there's one on the next menu that's the floor is guava, but there was no drink for it yet. Like, I have to work backwards.
That's incredible.
We'll figure out the.
Yeah.
That's absolutely genius.
I like hearing the creative genius here too. You know how it works.
Yeah, dude, it's amazing.
Maybe that's like a jalapeno drink.
It probably will
Jalapeno?
be. Yeah. See, that's good. That'll be one. That'll be the true test for me because I don't do spicy drinks really, but I'm certain that I'm gonna love this drink.
Yeah,
Fine,
there's spice is hard too to deal with because everyone has a different.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
gauge,
and I've got a
threshold.
really high tolerance for spice. Like, I love spicy. I
Yeah.
put hot sauce. I love spicy food, but something about spicy drinks doesn't sit with me.
That's always the line to ride too. Is like food and drink. Like you can only get them so close together until.
Yeah.
Like during quarantine, I was going down some rabbit holes.
I think we all were, man.
Like meatball fat washed vodka.
Casey's just got this mad scientist lab in his apartment.
Got
just like,
beakers and lab coats.
We get a license to fail, right? You can go wild.
That's
There's
what's so fun about it too. Like, and I tell anyone that comes in, like, just no idea is a bad idea. Like
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
it's a terrible idea, but let's
Try to rule it out.
move the needle in a positive direction.
Until you kill somebody, it's a good idea.
And I would never put meatball vodka on a menu unless it was something that could actually be approachable from a normal person, but didn't get there.
Make some meatball vodka and sell it to my restaurant. And,
Oh yeah,
You got
collab.
that.
Just turn into
That'll go
boozy
over well.
meatballs.
So Dave, what are you drinking? You got one of the old standbys, one of the
So
OGs.
yeah, I'm drinking the Amaro Old Fashioned.
This is the first drink you ever ordered here, I think, right?
Yes. I stuck by it.
Different Amaro.
Well, you were an Amaro guy, and
well,
I didn't
no,
know
no.
about Amaro until I was
I
there.
became an Amaro guy here because
But you knew about it. You knew of it.
I was like, I'll try. I love Old Fashioned. Let me try Amaro.
Yeah,
Old
you're like
Fashioned.
one of 9 people that ordered that drink that year. So
Yeah.
like, no one ever like
Yeah.
when you see Old Fashioned, everyone like that's still our best
Yeah.
selling drink. It's the top 3 really ever like never change. Like it's Old Fashioned, breakfast, and the Bouchon are always
Oh, nice. Okay.
like. Then you'll get like some dark horse on like a seasonal menu that starts to make its way up to the top, but rarely do people order the Amaro. But that was the first one you had was a different Amaro too. That was the first Amaro that we made here.
Okay.
And then this was a new take on one that was trying to do like more of like a root beer style. Mm-hmm. But those are delicious, especially like
My.
if you like Amaros.
Yeah. I like Amaro so much that helped get a cocktail on the menu at Porta. We
Nice.
call the Italian Manhattan.
Nice.
It's an up drink, but it's bourbon and Amaro.
Yes, which is pretty classic. Like it's hard for us to do those style of drinks because we again like you can only make so many things with 5 spirits
Yeah.
without like having to make other things for it.
Yeah.
So like be able to do more spirit forward things like that and like closer to Manhattans and Negronis and all those styles of drinks is like
Yeah.
that's been a goal for the past like year is just trying to get more of a well-rounded menu and not just citrus crushers. But
I'm trying to make Amaro great again. Okay.
I'm on board.
Full-
I'll sign the petition.
Full make Amaro great again.
Now, do you guys have plans to make any other spirits?
Yeah, we have. The making of it is like not the easiest part, but it is like we can crank out a lot of different things, especially now with having more people, having more understanding as a whole of what our goal is for like liqueurs. Like I'd like to do a whole kind of like limoncello, like a cello line. We
Yeah.
have a Clementine triple sec that's done the same way that the
Oh, God, yeah.
that's delicious. We can take that method and use it for like every peel that exists. Like,
Yeah.
just do it, but then it gets into the hard part of getting it approved. You know, everything has to be FDA approved, TTB,
Yeah.
ABC, all that kind of stuff. So like, this is great because it's a way to market things and like find out what it is that's going to work outside of here. It's like a perfectly little built-in market research space.
We're guinea pigs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Fine
A
by
lot of
me.
blind trust, as guinea pigs usually have.
Well, it's like we come here, like we have a great cocktail, blows our mind. We talk about it for the next 6 days. We come back here, we say, hey, let's try a different one. That one blows our mind. We're talking about that one. Now it's just like, you know, we have an arsenal of drinks that we either like. What do I feel like having here today? Like, what do I feel like starting with, or you know, we have options now, which is great because I mean they do it all well. So why not explore?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to lower the bar soon, just so it's.
He's gonna put on cruise control.
Just so you don't need to make 250 drinks on a Sunday
Yeah.
afternoon.
I don't think we ever
hot
order.
salted gin is what we're making today.
We never order off menu. I think the only time we order off menu is when we just let you
Yeah.
write your own song.
Which
Yep.
is my like favorite part about having Tuesdays and like
Yeah.
Thursdays, like not just put your head down and
Make
shake
all
for
these
9
drinks.
hours. Like it's fun
Yeah.
to actually interact with customers and see what they like and see what works and
Yeah.
get to build the thing. Like that's fun. There was a lot more time to do that back when we first opened.
Yeah.
And like it is really cool to see how busy we've gotten, but especially with all the regulations of not being able to actually have people
Have
at
a
the
full
bar.
house, yeah,
Yeah.
but the
That's
bar.
missing a little bit, but it's nice. Like Tuesdays, it's like I'll make whatever you guys come in. Just like
Yeah.
I'm not. I usually don't want to take an order at that point. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make whatever. Just tell me what flavor you're into.
Billy, what do you got?
I have, again, great name, Stark and Dormy. Casey, you want to fill me on this one?
Yeah, it's a take on, believe it or not, a dark and stormy.
I am shocked.
But it's the same Amaro that's in the Amaro Old Fashioned, barrel finished gin, blood orange juice, and lime, and then top of whatever sort of ginger soda we can get our hands on.
The barrel finished gin is just, I mean, it's awesome. It opened up, I mean, I feel like during the evolution of you guys, like, it's just opened up a lot more options for you on your cocktails because you see it in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I bought a bottle not even knowing what to do or mix it with or whatever, and I've gotten some recommendations from you, which have been great. But it's like, you know, it's just a new world to me, and I've been drinking, you know, spirits for a long time, and it's like, okay, cool, I got new options now. And it just changes your whole world. It's
There's
awesome.
not many of them out there, and like, it actually took us a little bit to figure out how to use this the right way in cocktails. Like,
I feel like we're becoming regulars here at a really good time because you
missed some of the speed bumps that.
well between that and like a lot of things that you've had to age and are you know or,
Well, and, like,
are
you
starting
guys
to be
got
ready.
like you were here, and within like not even a year, our bourbon was out.
Yeah.
Which for people like our first week opening, like when's the bourbon coming out?
I've
Like,
been-
we're a week.
I was that guy.
I
I was
can't
like,
believe
when's the bourbon coming
I
out?
can't hear.
Do you know how bourbon works?
like, I'm a big bourbon guy. Like, but you know, we're a week old, and it takes a bit of time.
Yeah, it's basically slightly brown vodka, right?
Yeah, it's like, people ask all the time, like, how long does it take to make bourbon? Like, the distillation process is pretty much the same for all the spirits.
Yeah.
It's just then you have to sit
then
in
what
a
you do
barrel
with it.
for
Yeah.
4 years, 3 years. Like, that's
years.
still a long time.
Yeah.
And that's even still going to be
Oh,
kind of green unless you have, like, our distiller has a master's. Like, he's brilliant. So, like,
Yeah. When you guys released
knows
your
how to do
bourbon, it
that.
was the happiest day of my life because I was like, 'cause I had tried all
That
the
was
other
it?
spirits here. Like,
That was the happiest day of your life?
I mean, you know,
Okay,
okay, whatever. It's like
alright.
the day I
Booze
adopted my
related.
dog, like, I guess the day I got married, and then when Asbury released
Toronto.
their... Oh, a bachelor party?
I'll take a top 5.
Yeah, there you go, right? Yeah.
But not only was it like an hallelujah day, but like it lived up to the hype. You know, it was like
Dude,
when LeBron came into the league. Like,
Yeah, man.
super hype just took over and it did well.
Dude, and when you guys released the small batch bourbon, I came in here on that Saturday. I was like, 1 bottle, please. Like, count it, number it. I want to know what it is.
I drank it and then I thought about who I could buy bottles of that for. I was like, God, this is too good. I need to share it
Yeah.
with people that I like and know and appreciate it.
And it's 2 totally different bourbons. The original
Yeah.
one we had, which is a source bourbon, which most places will do, because if you're, again, like only 2 years old, having a 4-year-old bourbon is unlikely.
Yeah.
But like that bourbon is great. It's very like utilitarian. Like we can make any sort of like sour cocktail with it, and it's
Yep.
not going to fight. It's not going to be too abrasive. But the straight bourbon is a sipping bourbon. It's higher proof. It's got like more nuance to it. And it's nice having both of those between the barrel finished gin and the 2 bourbons. Like it's not a full back bar, but getting a little bit closer, like to
Yeah.
start to move cocktails
Yeah, you
in,
got
a,
some-
in a different
That,
way. Yeah.
And that barrel finished gin, just to talk about that again, that was like, I had never even heard of that
Yeah.
No,
before.
man.
Like when I bought it here, I was like, what the fuck?
Blew my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Good
I
way
went-
to trick people into drinking gin too. Which
Yeah,
is
right.
most of my
And I
knowledge.
loved gin. And I went home and I was like, all right, what do I do with this? So I just put it in a glass
Yeah.
with a giant rock and I sipped it. I was like, wow, this
Yeah,
is
good
this
idea.
is this is
It's
fantastic.
it feels like a different spirit entirely.
It did, it's completely different.
It's closer to bourbon than gin,
Yeah,
but it's so much fun to use with other spirits too, because like the dryness of it, like awesome with mezcal.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like I always put like a half ounce of it if I'm using anything with like citrus. It
Yep.
just like cleans it up. It makes you want more of the drink because it's so tannic that it clears your palate, and then that's why that one is so addictive.
It's funny you say that because it's
Right?
true.
Like-
Yeah,
It's true. As soon as you taste it, like I'm thinking about my second one.
yeah.
Dude, like we're I mean I know like we are, you know, our tradition is we come and we get a drink and then we go to Taco Tuesday, but I have a very distinct feeling that when it starts to get warmer out, like, it's going to be a 2-drink Tuesday at the distillery
Well,
as part of the
it's
normal
not getting-
operating procedure.
It's not warmer out, and the last couple of weeks have been a 2 drink.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
Yeah, so we
it's
are-
We're
already
still in
kinda
the dead of
crossing
fucking
over.
winter and we're already like advancing a little bit here.
Yeah, we're looking to warm.
God.
I like riding line between being like elevated cocktails and also just having really like crushable drinks is like I would rather be that.
Yeah.
Like, just I don't need to do 15 ingredients and like have it then have to explain to people why it's good.
Yeah, you're right.
Sometimes like I would love to drink like twisted tea on a hot summer day before I'll drink a perfect Manhattan or something.
Right.
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
boozy
oh,
for
yeah.
it. And I think that the town here like pretty much dictated what our brand was in terms of cocktails, which was really cool. Like there wasn't a lot of overthinking it. Once we knew what was working, we just kind of moved in that direction, then found out where we could kind of divert a little bit and get some. Once we gained the trust of people, we could start putting baby carrots into drinks, but that took a couple years.
Once you get your street cred,
Yeah.
That stuff is great.
And I mean, and it's impressive,
Yeah.
I think, to say that, because we all agree that these are the best cocktails in Asbury, and that's like a pretty fucking hefty comment to make, considering how many good cocktails
I
there
mean,
are
it's
in
by
this
far.
town. Like,
So much so, like we said that, right? We all unanimously agreed instantly. And then someone threw out, like, what's the second best? We're not going to get into that now. But it took us all, like a legitimate time frame to, like, think, like, ponder, like, oh, like, it's so far ahead of the second best cocktail in Asbury.
Yeah.
The second best might be debatable. Like, the first best was nowhere near debatable.
Yeah.
You have to make your own paint.
Yeah. One thing that's,
Like they might be like really good at painting, but
and there are some great painters around.
Yeah.
And it's like the whole Barrio crew, like everyone, Tallulah's, like there are so many good people making drinks around here, and that's what's even more inspiring for us. Like we get to talk shop with these like great bartenders, and there's no like competition because like we're completely separate styles of
yeah,
bar,
absolutely.
which is nice because like then there's no ego involved. It's just like back and forth. How can we make both sides better? Because like frankly, this is a ridiculous style of making drinks. Like trying to figure out how to make prosecco just so I can pour it on something I wouldn't wish that on somebody.
But it does make a difference though too. It's like when you go to a restaurant where like everything is farm to table or everything they make is scratch made or whatever. That's the same principle here with you guys making everything house, and it makes a fucking difference.
Yeah.
It makes a huge
whether
difference. People realize it, like they've developed their palate enough to realize it, or they just enjoy the hell out of the drink and the time while they're here. Like it's just that makes it all possible. That makes everybody everybody's time here better. It's just like everything about it is better.
I use Jackie, my wife, as a barometer because like she doesn't drink anything except for like white wine. Like that's all she drinks. But I bring her here and she wants to come here and she's like, I'll try anything, and she likes everything. I'm like, that's a good
Matt
barometer.
called me up on a Monday once and said, Jackie dragged me to the distillery. You gotta come.
FOMO.
It's hard to put like a real value on those intangibles too. How much is the difference? It's nice that we're forced to have to make everything, because if you found a way to say that it wasn't actually worth something and there wasn't a number to quantify it.
Yeah.
But I think just having the people that are serving it and making it, there is this like overall passion for it.
Yeah.
Because you just made it.
So
an hour before sometimes.
I think personally that's what separates you guys is that like you said, like you're forced to think of ways to make it work, but I am certainly sure that there are easier ways that you guys could have made it work.
Oh, 100%.
Rather than, like so it's
Most
not like
days I
it's
feel
not like you
that
just
way.
took the easy way out. It's like, okay, we're forced to kind of face some adversity here, and we're gonna take it head on, and we're gonna like just rock it. We're just gonna hit it out of the park and just make people happy.
We're allowed to sell non-alcoholic products. Like we could buy tonic water.
Right.
We could buy soda.
Right.
But no.
Yeah.
There's like I don't even know how to it's like we should sell root beer. I'm like, I'm gonna make root beer then.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know how to get out of it at this point. And the same with, and once you're here for a while, you kind of buy into that mentality.
Yeah.
And that again, like
It
just
shows with everyone we've seen.
Yeah. And does that help you like control cost a little bit and stuff, like making everything in house as opposed to having to buy stuff from a vendor?
yeah, and
It's labor.
It's labor, which
yeah,
is
right.
Yeah, extremely
like
labor
500.
intensive.
But it's cost never even factors in for me personally about like what the drink costs. It's more if I'm buying like truffles.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, it's citrus and what can I do with the least amount of things.
Wait for that
Yeah.
day.
Like if like the distiller and I were trying to make a chartreuse, which is a 100 and something ingredient recipe that's known by like 5 monks. And let's try to do it. Let's find the
Like you guys like fuck this.
I'm just picturing you up there with the owner, like on the hills in like Tibet, like through the mountains to find the one guy that has the ancient recipe.
Up to 300 stairs carved into the mountain.
Like some real Doctor Strange shit, the all-seer.
Yeah. And in reality, it's just me on the fucking internet. Sage.
Speaking of which, can we get a? Is that cool? Yeah, man.
Same thing? What do you think?
Yeah, same thing.
I'm gonna have a Jean Bouchon.
Yeah.
There's the three of them. Let's just do all jump
There you
show.
go.
Now we're back
Make
to
your life
this.
easier.
I mean,
So-
we explained the drinks and we got through that. Like, let's all just make it easy on him
Yes,
and
that's right.
have a great drink.
So
The good stuff.
this
I'll
is
put the four on that
my
one, too.
favorite drink, and I had to get one. But watching Matt drink his made me
Dude, it's
like,
just like
gotta have one.
it has, and it's like I think like part of it is like a little bit of the Goomba in me because like Italians they put fucking lemon and citrus and everything.
Sure. I
mean,
so
that's-
like, and I do that in my cooking. I put like I made these like roast potatoes the other day. And I put fucking lemon zest on them.
Smart.
It's like right. But the lemon flavor in that is so just perfect, like just so absolutely perfect, and it makes the entire drink.
Even circling back to limoncello, like yes, it's a lemon drink, but it's not. Like it doesn't like dig into back here,
Yeah.
It's a beautiful lemon flavor, but like on the front, not out.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's because there's no actual acid in it.
Yeah.
Which is that was like the one thing that I worked on more than most things. Like that took me a couple iterations of trying to make those flavors work a lot.
Yeah.
I appreciate
it's
your
just-
work, man.
There's nothing worse than getting too much citrus where you feel like you have
Yeah.
lockjaw. Like you're just like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then it like ties up everything else. You're
Yeah.
not sure what's going on.
And it turns out those two flavors don't actually want to work together at all.
Yeah,
If
right.
you were to add citrus like to coffee, within like
Curdle.
2-3 days, like both flavors are gone.
Wow, really?
Which is
A bummer.
real cool, real cool to figure that out. But the
That makes it even more impressive.
which I like. Then I had to start learning science stuff,
Science, bitch.
which is nice. That like our distiller is brilliant and is willing to humor me in most of my like harebrained ideas and can try to
Thanks, Bill.
figure out what it is that could have happened. What was the like chemical composition of something that got?
Yeah.
This is why these things happen.
You're the
But
mad scientist.
that also like it forced me to learn about that stuff too, which has helped a lot. Like so I'm
Yeah.
not wasting my time as much. Like I know when something's gonna work and why it won't or why it will.
That's awesome.
But the sous vide was such a huge thing because you're just pulling out oils, and because you're doing it at a low enough temperature, it doesn't bring anything like abrasive out or anything that's gonna
Right.
break down any of the other flavors. But yeah, that's why there's no like bite to it because it's all just from the peels, and that's why
It's
using
a
fresh
great
lemon peel
flavor,
is
but
so-
none of that like bitter, like none of the what could be.
Yeah, why it's so important to use the fresh peels because they have the most oil in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
What was it?
Oil.
Thank you. What was it like having that
America.
that write up in Esquire
that
about
oil.
like best,
So
best
that's
bourbon in America?
A lot of press.
No, yeah, not just Esquire. A lot of press you guys been having.
That one's especially funny because that was written a year ago.
No
That was
shit.
that was posted a year ago. Like
I didn't even realize that.
some like radio station decided to like repost it. No one noticed it the first time it went out.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah. So like when they kept like everyone was talking about it, I was like, yeah, that came out like a year ago. I didn't realize that they did it again. But it came out the same time that we had a thing in New Jersey Monthly.
Yeah, which I saw that also.
And one of the weirdest experiences I've ever had was Bill and I were in Atlantic City
Bill?
and our
Distiller, not me.
Yeah. Not you. That'd be real weird, right? Yeah. We were hanging out on the side.
No, talking about it right now.
Talking as Bill.
I didn't want to bring it up this way, but we're starting our own podcast. We were at AC and like we were at a comedy show and these people that were with us recognized us from the New Jersey Monthly magazine.
Wow.
And because like Esquire, so they were looking it up, they found the New Jersey Monthly and it just came out. And like, if you could have ever thought
That's so funny.
that-
Now I feel like such an
we
idiot
would've been,
because
like,
I was going around when I
recognized.
saw that get reposted. I was telling everybody, I was like, guys, best bourbon in America. I go to
Sure,
it
I
every
mean,
week. It's
whatever.
on my shelf.
Yeah, it's great. And like, I'm really glad that it got
Yeah.
some more life
Yeah,
to
why
it, but
not?
it's very
Recirculate it.
strange. Like,
I'll share it next year too.
it is a testament to just time and
Zombie
what that
press.
does to
Yeah.
your brand. Like we're going on 4 years in May, which is the longest and shortest 4 years of my life. Like,
Yeah, no
wow.
shit.
it's felt. I was saying before, like I feel like I'm in the bubble all the time, and then like actually getting to see it grow from the outside every now and then is really cool. Like going into Wegmans and seeing
Yeah.
the racks.
Yeah, seeing your
like,
stuff on the shelf, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been in this town a long time and been fortunate enough to see like a lot of cool places come in and like blow up as soon as they got here, and then some like kind of fizzled a little bit and then hung on, and some like some maintained, some dropped. Obviously, like you guys have just continuously, like if you were on a chart, you just keep. The evolution of you guys have been great because you started off like good, and you really didn't have that much to work with when you started off. It was like gin and vodka.
Yeah, that was the first.
And I don't drink vodka personally, so I mean I only tried your gin drinks, and like gin's not my number one normal like order. Like, hey, I'm gonna go out for gin.
Yeah, the amount of times like that I had to trick people into drinking gin. 'Cause, like I had it when I was 15.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, I
out of
hated
like a
it.
boot with Gatorade.
Oh, yeah,
Threw up for
yeah.
2 hours.
There's a lot of bad stories tied to gin, of course.
I'm like, this is adult gin. We're grown up, and like we can move
that-
past
That's good
having.
stuff.
a
That was
very
me. Like when
solid-
you guys opened, I came in and I said like, when in Rome, I don't do vodka. Bad experience when I was like too young, and I just still can't do it. Gin, I can appreciate. So I just started having gin drinks, and like there was not many drinks, but like everyone I had was just awesome. And I'm like, yo, distiller, you gotta go to Asbury Park Distilling.
Yeah.
Like it was a place like that. If people were like, hey, where should I go stop off and get a drink? I'm like, go there, get a gin drink. Go get there, get a vodka drink. Because most people drink vodka, So it's like everyone can find something here early. But now, like, I popped in like 3 years ago and had a couple drinks, and it was like, wow, this place is like still good. I
Just
should come
like
here
this.
more. Why don't I
like
come here
this.
more often? Then popped in here a couple times like 2 years ago, and it was like, yeah, wow, this place is still lit. Like it's just, I feel like they're getting more things for us.
Yeah.
And now it's just like it's off the charts. It's
Dude, I'm telling you, it was the greatest happy accident. I was telling Bing before you guys got here about like why we come here every Tuesday, because when we started doing tacos on Tuesdays back in June when shit opened up, middle of summer, sometimes you gotta wait 30, 40 minutes for a table at Loteria. So one day we were like,
Asbury
let's just go.
Park, seasonal city.
Exactly. We're like, let's just go, catch a drink at the distillery real quick. Came, drink was.
which I can't say
Out
why
of
we
this
decided on here. It was just
I know why we decided on here. I actually remember specifically why, because it was the 1 week that Dave wasn't there. You and I had to wait, so we went and got a drink at Ale House.
Yeah.
And like, whatever, beer, whatever, it was fine. But then
it was a drink before. Yeah.
Exactly. But then the very next week, the same thing happened. We had to wait like another 30, 40 minutes, and me and you were like, well, let's go someplace else this time. Like, let's get a nice cocktail. Let's go to the distillery.
Because you're right. We weren't going to get food. Like,
Right.
we were waiting on food.
Yeah.
We were just going to get a cocktail. And, like, we didn't want to take a table up and take away from that because people were just bouncing back from COVID and, like, trying to make the... We're not going to take away from a service experience. Like, they're nice.
Exactly.
So, yeah, we came here because, like, this is where you come for a cocktail.
And
But,
we've been
like...
coming back every week ever since.
But now, like, that made us realize, like, this is where you come for a cocktail. Like, whether it's
Exactly.
one or you stay here for as long as you want to.
Yup.
I mean, they can keep going down. And it's just, whether it's, like I said, whether it's one or a dozen, like, you're just having a good time here. It's just, like, everything is, like, wow. Like, nothing about that was bad.
Right.
That's what's cool. Like you were saying, like people were strict vodka, strict gin, and there was like this little faction of people that would just drink a drink because it was a drink, and like we try to think of it as a whole and as a sum of its parts, and it's not really.
Gin
It's
is
kinda
vodka
it's
infused
flavored-
with botanicals.
Exactly.
It's,
So like, and we don't really, you think we're tasting, we're trying to accentuate the spirits more, but for all intents and purposes, we've kind of turned into a cocktail bar. So it's
Yeah.
more like the cocktails are it's the only thing we do, so we better do it well.
right.
Yeah, man.
But like, we have a much larger group of people now that will just drink a drink because it sounds like it tastes good.
Yeah.
And trust that
Yeah.
we can do it right, as opposed to whether or not there's a spirit they may not like, which there's a lot of, everyone has their one thing that they can't drink because they had
Sure.
a horrible time.
PTSD.
But yeah, and
But that's a good point, though, because I'm the same way. I don't like vodka at all, but I will drink vodka drinks
And
from
what's,
here because it's like,
all of our cordials are based on the base product is our vodka.
Yeah.
Like there's about 10 products that we use in most of our drinks that are based around the vodka. Limoncello is,
Vodka
at first we were
lemons.
just I was pouring it out of the bottle into a Ziploc bag. It's a different thing, but it's all,
yeah,
and like, there's so much of this has just been education for customers too. It's like,
yeah.
This
Was
is
that-
what,
Was that sous
Vodka.
vide process, was that like a 3 a.m. like aha moment? Or was it just something after research and time and things?
the things I research are never good. It's usually like,
Detractions.
yeah, just,
Don't,
again, like,
probably
I-
something you should not try.
yeah. If I like think too much about it, I always end up overthinking
Yeah.
and screwing it up.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like
We-
that one was just pure. The Bouchon was just a throw it at the wall. But like,
Yeah,
if I
man.
try like to really think about a cocktail, it usually sucks. It's the ones that like all of that thinking. Like I feel like you have like a little database of just knowledge.
You're like the guy that discovered penicillin by accident. You know?
But that's also like
Shower thinking.
some classic songwriters, like some of the most famous songs that have been on the radio or whatever. Still, we're throwing it together in 5 minutes. Like it just came out, like boom, out on paper. Like I got a song to tell.
That's like the story behind "Satisfaction" by the Rolling Stones. The way the
So
story
many
goes,
stories I've heard.
The way the story goes, I don't know if it's true or not. The way the story goes, that Keith Richards woke up probably in some sort of coke-induced, whatever stupor. Whatever. Woke up in the middle. Yeah, woke up in the middle of the night and just like took out his little tape recorder, laid down the hook, turned it off, went back to sleep, woke up the next morning. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, I can work with this. Like,
I've heard stories like that a million times, and it's just like you said, like if you overcomplicate it, because you have the knowledge to dig deep into it. Like you can really break it down or do whatever. But you also have the know-how to just kind of make a really good drink that people would like.
Still exists. Like they're like little filters.
Yeah.
But I came from the music world before this. Like I did that for 15 years professionally before I did this at all. So like the creative
such a crazy
process,
career change. I love it.
in a day. I had a job offer in Chicago to write music for a neuroscience company. I was like, I need to go talk to people because I've been stuck in the studio for too long. So I walked in and applied to be a bar back here.
That's amazing.
But the transition wasn't that difficult because it's very similar. Like it's a lot of, especially building everything from the ground up and like performing. But it's that, like understanding my creative process where most of it's procrastination and then also not overthinking it, like helped with, like I don't get annoyed if I'm trying to get something. Like it's fucking impossible to take something from the ether and spit it out.
Oh yeah.
Into any form.
Oh yeah.
Like everyone thinks that's like there are few people that can do that. Take what's in their head and put it onto paper, put it into
exactly.
Yeah.
Especially on the first.
And those
try.
people are like the top artists, the top whatever.
But if you're that mid tier, know that that's not a bad thing, and like the more and more you do it, you just have all these like stems of like. If I start thinking about something, I know they're probably gonna fall into place somehow. Like I don't get frustrated about it.
You're like the Prince of cocktails.
That's it.
like Prince the artist, not like Prince
Not
like
the Prince of
not like
cocktails.
Prince like below King.
There's
like
Prince,
Prince
there's a
the
king
artist.
somewhere, and you're waiting for him to die.
That might be true too. I don't know.
Like that
I gotta
Prince.
find my king. It's gonna take over.
Yeah, speaking of, I caught what you said about legal, not legal. Can we take a moment to just celebrate what actually happened today? Finally,
It's
I'm not a criminal.
talking about
I am
it
not a
every,
criminal.
no longer a criminal.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it every week on the podcast. Marijuana is finally fucking legal in the state of New Jersey. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Very excited to hear about that finally.
Which I was celebrating prior to coming. Which is
We've been literally talking about it every week because it's like wait a minute. He still hasn't signed the bill? Like, didn't we fucking vote for this shit?
They
Like,
arrested over 6,000, 7,000 people.
yeah, there's 100 people a day being arrested in 2021.
Yeah.
The dispensary laws are going to be even crazier than.
I can't even
Oh,
imagine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's.
I know it's like it's one of those things that's like I'm excited, because
Yeah.
now that it's legal. But then as soon as I start reading into the laws, I'm going to blow
All
my
the
brains out.
insane
like
liquor license
what the
laws.
fuck?
Yeah, pretty much.
For you and all, it's going to be
They said,
fine.
okay, we're going to let you guys have
not me
it,
personally.
but we're going to keep our boot on your neck the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
when you
Yeah,
do it.
exactly.
And don't try to get fancy or do anything silly.
And this state in particular, like, has a.
Yeah.
They romanticize prohibition. Like they.
Yeah.
For some reason, they think that like.
Well, like the next
everybody's
town over is
a bootlegger.
blue.
And,
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
same
we
with
see
weed.
it.
They're like, we're gonna make it legal, but we're gonna watch every step you take.
Right.
And make sure that it like you have to have it's very similar. You have to have your own like farm to then dispense out of. You can't
Yeah.
sell to.
Oh, really?
What I've heard, like I.
They're like,
They're
we're
not
going
regulated
to do you a
fucking-
favor.
They're
We're
not
going to do
regulated.
you a
It's called-
favor.
It's
Fucking clowns.
they're gonna be less criminalizing about it, but
Less legal than you think.
yeah. But it's
Yeah.
like for businesses, it's
Semi-legal.
gonna be a nightmare for the first couple of years.
It's going to be the
Yeah,
corporations.
your
I feel like,
favorite
in the
shop
beginning.
is going to change 3, 4, 5 times.
Yeah, just to try
Yeah.
to meet some regulation.
Oh man, yeah, I can't even imagine what it's going to be like. It's just going to. I mean, you know, I hate the fucking government. So I'm
Murphy-
going to read these
he's gonna-
regulations.
Murphy's
and
going to
be
do it
like,
perfectly. Flawless. No problem. at
Doing a
all.
great job.
Yeah, wonderful job. Keep it up.
Best they can.
That's the problem.
So I have to know. But I'm just curious, and if you can't disclose this, that's fine. Are you guys ever going to make tequila, or can you make tequila?
You actually
Like,
can't legally make tequila outside of Mexico.
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Really?
You can make
Yeah.
agave spirit. There's like
It's like champagne.
yeah, yeah. It's all so. There's also mezcal and tequila is like a square rectangle situation.
Yeah.
All tequilas are mezcals, not all mezcals. It's
Right.
too high.
So all tequila comes from blue agave.
Right.
all mezcals
From
can come
the,
from
like,
multiple different
tequila
types of
region.
agave kind of thing. It
And
doesn't have to be this
regions.
one particular one.
There's like
I-
11
And
or so
mezcal's
different
traditionally
regions.
smoked.
You would think with as
Yes.
much, as
The
much
mezcal
tequila
really
as
used to
I
make
drink,
it
I would have known
crazy.
that.
Volcanic ash and like
Yeah.
horses with giant stone wheels. that
Donkeys
crushed it,
usually, yeah. They walk around and grind it all up. Yeah, it's a phenomenal
It's
process.
like-
Well, listen, if you want to, I'll quit my job and I'll move down to Mexico and open up an
No, but-
operation to,
but-
to
It takes
make
like
that
14
happen.
years to mature. An
Yeah,
agave
so
plant
there's
to
the
get to
problem
a
is
I got
American.
14 years to
bad
spare. That's
business
fine.
model.
But Americans started drinking way too much tequila after George
Yeah.
Clooney blew out that one company.
I know, right?
I mean, I'll buy anything George Clooney
now
does,
there's
but-
now there's like an agave shortage. It's like there's some bush league product going to be made in the next few years. Like, I
Same with
promise you that.
Barrels, like
Oh, really?
Cooperage is. It's the
There's a
who make
shortage of barrels.
Yeah, because like once old fashions became Mad Men did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the bourbon,
I'm sorry.
like the shortage of barrels now is
Yeah.
kind of dire.
Yeah.
I don't know what
crazy.
they.
Wow.
There's a market for barrel trading.
Yeah,
I'm-
and because with bourbon you
Yeah.
can't. That's why you're going to see a lot of different types of whiskeys out. It'll just be like sherry aged, because with bourbon you have to age it in new American oak every time to be able
Yeah.
to call it bourbon. Also going to realize how stupid label requirements are for the same product, whether or not they're called something in the next like 5 years, because there's going to be shortages on barrels.
I mean, I'm certain that we've contributed to the tequila shortage at the estate at a few
Once
times
I crossed over,
here or
I
there.
took it, like I thought my friends were psychos for liking tequila, and then I started liking it, and it was like, whoa! I have a ton of energy.
Yeah.
I don't have a hangover. I feel really good.
Yeah, I, mean,
like,
I,
I'm
I,
drinking-
had, I had the same epiphany, I think, as like most of you guys probably did too. Like, in college, you drink tequila, you buy a bottle of Jose Cuervo, and at the time you were just like, oh, tequila. But then when you actually like try good
Good tequila.
tequila,
It's not
that you don't
you're
like
like,
tequila,
what the
you
fuck?
don't like Jose Cuervo.
Exactly.
It was always a last
nothing
call
wrong with
shot
that.
for me that somebody ordered, and I was pissed off about it, and then
Yeah.
I took it, and then I wound up throwing up later on.
Dude, I won't even let people put Cuervo. Like if a margarita's being
No,
made,
no,
and they
bring
put,
it.
I'm like, yo, no.
If someone's
no,
like, "This is our tequila," I'm like, I won't drink tequila
yeah, no,
tonight.
'cause
I'll have something else.
it's barely tequila.
No,
like,
yeah, it's
barely.
not okay.
It's the
It's a blend of.
great spirit. Like,
Yeah.
are you sober, tired, and not horny? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's a cure-all.
You're absolutely right.
You're
You're absolutely right.
not wrong. I mean, yeah, like you're not
And when you
wrong.
get Cafe Patron in the mix, like
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Covers all bases.
Dude, it's so funny. Like my tequila drinking experience has gone
It's
from
just
like,
a few
you know,
questions from-
once I realized what good tequila was, I was like, all right, like I'm gonna drink 1800, and then I was like, no, now I'm gonna like drink Patron, and then it's like Migos came out, and I'm gonna drink Migos, and I thought it like really couldn't get any better than Migos, and then The Rock released his tequila, and I'm like, god damn it, like fuck is.
See, so the one that crossed me over from the point where like, fuck you, I can't drink tequila. It's just I'm gonna throw up. To like, oh my god, I just want to drink by the bottle. Was like
Kylie Jenner.
it was one that was introduced to friends of ours from somebody living in Mexico. And in the States, like you have to go online and see which liquor stores might have this. And like I had to drive to Howell to get one of 3 bottles that they had left on the shelf.
Siete Leguas.
Yes, Siete Leguas. And it was,
Leguas.
you take a sip of this,
yeah.
and it's just like,
That's so
whoa,
delicious.
like
Yeah.
what the hell is it? It's so easy to drink, but like the flavors is phenomenal. It's like, well, this is what I want to drink now.
It's like, what have I been doing my
everyone, you have to
entire
have your
life?
gateway spirit. Like, if you don't like gin, like try. That's how I refer to ours all the time. Like, Hendrix was my gateway gin. Like, I
Hendrix.
did,
Yeah, me too.
Hendrix
Me
is
too.
magic.
yeah, it's delicious. Yeah, and like, you could have shitty things of all kinds. Like, but to have one that you like, and now you open up a whole other world.
Yeah.
Tequila's another one. Like, and I was just drinking
It's
Casamigos.
rosemary, right?
Me too.
Like,
Sorry.
cucumber and
Oh,
like
dude,
rose
yeah.
hips.
Rose hips.
Yeah,
I
we
thought
were.
Rose. I thought rose.
It was. There's probably rosemary there too.
Yeah, I would throw parties in my house all the time, and once whatever COVID shit, I'm gonna go back to doing that. But like
Ragers.
normal party at my house, 3 bottles of tequila gone easily.
Yeah.
Well, you have the bell.
Yeah, exactly.
When
Shot
the bell
bell.
rings, everyone
Biv and the
everyone
DeVoe.
knows they have to come and like take a shot. Like everyone's just like, oh shit,
Yeah.
that's where I have to go. It's
Yeah,
past
I don't have a lot of rules at the estate, but the only rule of the estate is that if you ring the shot bell, shots
Yeah.
have to be done.
Yeah.
That's the only
Yeah,
rule.
you have to
and
drink
you
a
have
shot.
to do it. If you ring the bell, not everybody has to do a shot, but the bell ringer at the very least has to do a shot.
and have
is
to
a
get
fair
this
rule.
Drinking
other person
traditions
to
are
do
the
it.
best ones.
Yeah.
Like,
So good.
And you will be punished if you break the rule.
We had like in the younger days, we had what we called piss ups, and it was
Sounds great.
we had
Yeah.
it wasn't even push ups or anything. It was a curl bar.
I didn't think it was.
And it was outside of the bathroom with like 80 pounds. It was like a
Okay.
lot, but like enough to do like a couple. but you go like you had to do like 2 on
80
your way
pounds
in.
when your shit face is not something to sneeze at.
You usually start early. You usually start with like buzz, and you're like, oh, the hell with this, we're ripping. Maybe it was 60. I don't remember. It was a while ago, but it wasn't super light, but it wasn't like offensively heavy.
Right. You weren't gonna kill
But it was
yourself.
enough to like rip out 2 to 5 on the way in, 2 to 5 on the way out. By the end of the day, you're like walking around like this, you're like handing yourself drinks. Like it just would.
You wake up the next morning sore. You're like, what did I do last
Yeah.
night?
What happened?
Oh, 75 curls. Like,
I'm gonna
just-
feel contractually obligated to like drinking traditions until I'm like 60 years old, 70 years old.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So if a bell is rung and I take a shot, like there's no way I can't do it now.
Yeah, oh my God. No, dude, it's people
You're
people have gone down at my house because of the shot.
And if you're the
bell.
same age and you go like, let's
Clearly.
take it easy on the bell tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but-
Oh yeah.
No.
But
the
there's no
tradition's
still
still
around.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you hear
Always
people
gonna be
say
wrong.
that. Yeah, you hear
Yeah.
people say that a lot.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
funny.
because without fail, there's always
It's like, tell
there's
the
always
kid
the one
not to
asshole at
touch
the
the
party.
stove, right?
Ding, you know.
We've since the beginning always taken an 8 o'clock shot every day seems to be open. A lot of times it happens at 10:30 if we're busy. But
Been
like,
40.
well, I'm gonna have to take when I'm here.
I was gonna say right, like
Like it's tradition, and like there's never been a day that we missed it. Like it's when you get brought on here, like you're initiated. Like this is 8 o'clock. If you see that we're maybe forgetting that, make sure you let everyone know it's 8:10
That's
right now.
awesome.
Like we have to take a shot. This is part of tradition.
Just
that's just fucking tradition.
so
baby.
good.
It's so amazing. Oh my God, I love that.
Does the
stuff.
shot vary, or is it like a shot of something?
It used to be like a
straight.
shot of a cocktail. Like it would like a lot of times
Okay.
we would do a Bouchon shot, but now it's just limoncello because that's
right.
So
the
good.
easiest thing, and you don't have to make a drink and pour it.
Yeah.
Right.
It used to be like we would make a
It's a
drink that
drink
we're
and
working
shot
on, do a
glass.
shot of it.
And it makes you feel so good, the limoncello. It just
Yeah.
just to bring it back full circle, man.
Well,
it's
if you get new people, you should make them make the
Yeah.
drinks. And,
Oh yeah.
like when I take a shot
I
of
don't know, I trust
limoncello,
it.
you know what it feels like?
well, that's why you make them make the 8 o'clock drink so they can practice.
Yeah.
You know
Our
those
Jersey Turnpike's pretty
Pepto-Bismol
good.
commercials where it shows like the pink shit coating your stomach?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like when I take a shot of the limoncello. It just
Yeah.
coats my insides and it
golden-
feels with gold. Like,
Yeah.
oh man.
It does have an effect, and like I have no idea why. Like, we got to do some sort of chemical analysis.
We've
on
had-
it, 'cause, like,
We've had
there's
like
actual caffeine in it because it's such low heat on it.
Yeah?
Like, there's-
Yeah, it's magic.
we've had dozens and dozens of shots of it by now, and like every time, like to open
Not
it up,
tonight.
not tonight. It's just in our tenure.
It's
But
like 30 minutes. You're like, that's-
just slipping them on the side. But every like even today, like it was our first taste of alcohol here. We're just like, like everyone was just
wow.
like, whoa, you
Yeah,
know?
it just makes you feel good.
Yeah,
Like,
always.
it's such a
that's,
magical thing.
yeah, that's same here. Like we're at the end of the night, like taking one, like just kind of releases all this
Yeah.
Yeah.
the stress of a Saturday or a Sunday.
Oh yeah, yeah. It makes
Or
things
Monday.
okay for
Yeah.
that minute. Yeah.
So what's next that you can like share? What's next on the docket for the distillery? What do you guys got planned?
We got the limoncello coming out finally. We got the aquavit
Oh, you
coming
do?
out. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Aquavit.
yeah, aquavit.
What's aquavit?
Aquavit's a Scandinavian style of gin. Essentially, it's a.
Oh.
There's no juniper in it though, so mostly
Right.
it's like dill, caraway, anise. Like it's
Okay.
a botanical spirit without gin or
Okay.
without juniper.
With juniper, right.
But it still has very similar. It is kind of piney. I don't know if you guys you want to try some?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've literally never heard of it before right now. So,
I have
yeah,
because
man,
it's in
hit
a
me
couple
up.
cocktails here, which you have had it in, like mixed in.
Oh, so
But
I'm just
that's-
an idiot.
What's such
No,
a
but it's
great-
like it's just a part of like
Yeah.
you know.
Like it's so nice to have this space because like we can educate people on aquavit, have them taste something that like one of our best-selling drinks that we've ever had was a coconut and passion fruit drink with aquavit in it, which black licorice flavors get people a little bit
Yeah.
Yeah.
iffy, but having it in the right way and having it approachable. Like
I mean-
now people and aquavit is going to start moving again with the shortage of barrels. Like clear spirits are going to start making
Yeah.
their way.
I mean, I can smell this.
I'm glad you got me deeper and deeper into gin
like,
drinks then, man.
I can smell the anise, like right, just.
Yeah, and it's a little bit more on the nose than it is
Clip that.
the mouth. But there's green apple in there as well, which
Oh wow.
I really
There's green apple in here.
green apple skins another wonderful.
I think you got to peel 400 of it at a time.
They have
Lathe.
the peeler, yeah, but it does not work on lemons.
Oh man! All right, cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
Oh wow.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. So that like when it first hits you, I like my initial reaction was to clench up because I was like, oh, this is gonna be bad.
Yeah.
And then like not taste bad, but just like punch
Yeah.
you. And then as soon as it went all the way down, I was like, oh,
She's a little warm.
nothing, like I'm warm. Nothing happened.
Warms
It's
you
great.
up.
That was fantastic.
That's like
Holy shit.
The distillery team here is fantastic. Like,
The
they
amount
know
of
what they're
flavors,
doing.
like even like subtle nuances, you're able to pack into just
Yeah.
everything that I taste is like, and like more like I will taste that now in every cocktail that you guys mix it in.
And you'll
because
know
I've
it's there.
tasted
and
it
that's
like
why-
that.
Yeah, now I'm gonna look for it.
But
Yeah,
I won't
and
even have to. I'll be like, oh no, that like
Yeah.
now that I've tasted it, like I know my taste buds are like, boom, this is in here now.
Yeah, and you can get the green apple on it if you taste it straight. It's harder to get it when it's in a cocktail, but you can get a lot of that piney
Yeah, oh, it's definitely
anise
fine.
flavor
Yeah.
in a
We
drink.
need,
and
a,
sometimes
we need a
it's-
verb for look with your tongue.
Ooh,
Ooh.
For look with your tongue.
Yeah,
Is that what
because
you
you
said?
said I'll look for it. You meaning like when you're drinking, but you're not
Got
using
wet
your
eyes.
eyeballs.
I like it. I like it. Look
You're
with
like-
your tongue.
Yeah,
that's just be a good
taste. Like, yeah.
take it.
That could be the name right there. Look with your tongue.
It sounds like a good
Took a while to
tattoo
get to the other
concept.
sense.
Well, taste for it doesn't like ring well, you know. Like you want it to be like.
I mean, all I want to know is when on the menu are we going to get the Talking Tacos cocktail? That's what.
We're talking cocktails.
Or Talking
Talking
Cocktails. That's
Cocktails.
It
like,
has to like pay homage to it.
Yeah.
So it's got to be.
Gotta figure
Like I
something
want to. Yeah, I want to definitely put a taco garnish or something on it.
yeah. That's what. Listen, man.
Like everything in tacos is a good drink except for like chicken
Exactly.
or fish, but
The meatball vodka.
cilantro, lime, tomato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like those are all.
I mean, hey, listen, we've established one thing on this podcast and through all of our trips here. Anything that you put in the fucking cocktail glass, we're going to try and drink, and it's probably going to be amazing.
I kind of, at this point now, like now that we know Casey enough and we kind of bounce ideas back and forth and we talk, like I kind of look for things to dislike about it. Like not like hate, but just
No,
like
it's-
I look for flaws and like I can't find it most of the time.
yeah,
I
right?
really
You
can't.
really can't.
I like that. There's
Discriminating
very
customers.
few people that come in as many times as you guys do. Like maybe a couple other that come in every week.
Yeah.
But giving them things and having them actually be constructive about it, like it's now past the point of just like blowing smoke up anyone's ass.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I would hope, please find something wrong with
Dude,
it.
nothing gets me
Yeah.
more
No,
excited
I-
than when we come in here and you're just like, we say, hey man, just take the wheel, let us know what you
Fucking
want,
up, fan.
and you're like, hey, I'm going to make you something new, and you give us a new thing that you're working on, and
Yeah.
it's like we tried, and I feel great.
Last week at Taco Tuesday, they gave us this new concept taco. They were working on a vegan option,
Concept
right?
talk. That's gonna be
Yeah.
And it was the flavors in it were great. It was bean.
So if we're concept taco,
Very
Flavors in
highbrow.
it were great. There was a lot of really, really good things about it, but it was just lacking something. And it was like black beans and a little bit of tomato.
It was lacking texture.
It was lacking some type
It was
of
too
texture.
soft.
And guacamole, or
So-
not guacamole, avocado.
Yeah, and avocado. So it was like a little softer. And I said, the taste is phenomenal. I said, but like it needs a bite. It needs something.
black beans and avocado or guacamole and
Yeah.
that's
Or
And
not
then,
guacamole,
and then
but
as
it
we were
was
eating,
the-
as we were
the
eating the
tomato,
nachos,
yeah.
as we were eating the
Yeah.
nachos, they had pickled onions on top, and I was like, "Whoa, that's what you need."
A little bit of crunch.
You
Yeah,
need
a
that
little bit
pickled
of
onion on
crunch, yeah.
top.
Yeah.
The flavor already is fine from the taco. This is going to add a little bit to
We'll
it.
zest it
But
up.
like I gave it to them. They were like, "Oh, cool, we'll try that out." Like here, I don't have that to offer to you, man. Like you're so far ahead of what I could even.
And we
like,
got fat last week
Trying
with
to
all
make
that
it find
food.
it.
We did get found.
yeah.
That's what's again going back to like just creative process and what kind of we try to do as a team here is the drink is a drink. Like it's not somebody's drink. It's not like remove the ego from it.
Yeah.
That way you can actually look at it as just a piece of something and can be criticized constructively.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
And not just like you're not getting
See it how everyone
butthurt
sees it,
about-
not just
Yep.
how you
like
see
that's
it.
too citrusy. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, exactly.
okay, sure. That's an easy fix.
Yeah.
Like and that came from years of being in a creative field where I had
Yeah.
to like learn how to take criticism without being like having my
Offended
ego
by it,
bruised.
yeah.
Yeah, it's genius.
That's something like we do as a team here as well. Like just get it. It's not your drink anymore. Once it's in a cup, it's their drink.
Yeah.
If they don't like it, we need to fix it.
Yeah.
I love the mentality.
I love everything about it, man.
Yeah. You guys have anything else you wanted to bring up, talk about real quick, or make sure we covered all of our bases here before
We talked about past, we talked about present, we talked about future endeavors. I think until our next one here, I think we covered everything.
until we come back tomorrow night for some more fucking cocktails. Oh man, well, this was amazing. Thank you, Casey,
Thank you so
for
much.
Thank you
letting
for
us come in
having us,
on the closed day here and do this podcast. It was absolutely fantastic. Thank you again, Ming, for bringing
Thanks,
up
Ming.
all the
Thank you for having
equipment,
cameras.
coming, making us sound good, making us look good. Thank you for the drinks. Everything was absolutely fucking incredible. From all of us here at Talking Tacos, I'm Matt.
I'm Dr. Dave.
I'm Bill.
And Casey.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Take
You're gonna
care,
blur out my
guys.
face, right?
Yeah.
Blur it out and give me a
Yes,
little.
yeah. It's neck down.
Filters.
I want the deep voice effect,
Filters.
whatever that
Oh
is.
yeah, you'll you'll sound like Barry White in this.
Put the Darth Vader encoder on me, please.
Well,
I'll take some of y'all.